Hey guys, welcome back to BackPocketGameReviews, and today's video is going to be about GameStop. Tomorrow's video will also be about GameStop because evidently they just can't keep themselves out of some negative press right now. Man. When I worked at GameStop, one of the big things that corporate always said and stated to us and always made such a huge deal out of is we won't be open on Thanksgiving. And they didn't agree with being open on Thanksgiving because they always stated that employees should be spending it with their families, which is fair. That's a completely wonderful argument, except for when you're lying, and that's not really why you're against being open on Thanksgiving. Pretty much any district manager or regional manager I ever spoke to would blatantly just tell you that it was because they don't agree with paying overtime, such as holiday pay. They don't agree with essentially you being paid more than what they already pay you to do the same job, which is that, again, fair argument. But if you are going to work on a holiday, specifically one as large as Thanksgiving, I do agree with holiday pay needing to be done for that. So GameStop announced they will be open this Thanksgiving. Even at the managers' conferences, they always made such a huge deal at how, we will never be open on Thanksgiving, and it means too much to our families to be able to spend it on the holidays. And keep in mind, corporate will always spend it with their families. Corporate will never have to work the holiday. It's the actual stores that will be working the holidays. And I know a lot of companies are open on Thanksgiving. I don't necessarily 100% agree with that policy. I do end up going out to Best Buy on Thanksgiving. Normally, that's about the only store I typically go to on it. I don't like having to be out on Thanksgiving. I don't enjoy having to fight that kind of a crowd or have to deal with that or being pulled away from your family on a day that should be spent with your family. Now, why would GameStop reverse and backpedal this? So, when I started at GameStop, our Black Fridays were huge. So we'd always open at midnight. All these other stores were opening on Thursday on Thanksgiving, so people just hop into our line after that. The Xbox One, PS4 Black Friday was one of the biggest Black Fridays I had ever seen. Our line literally wrapped around half our mall. That's how big that line got. Now, fast forward to my last Black Friday with GameStop, we had maybe 30 people waiting. That was it. That's a huge difference in a group of people there. So I assume GameStop is seeing that their Black Friday sales are going down. And a lot of them are probably assuming that it's Thanksgiving that's doing a lot of that damage to their Black Friday dollars. But as a lot of you remember, back around the holidays, I did some videos comparing the Black Friday deals for GameStop, Target, and Best Buy. Target and Best Buy beat GameStop at almost every turn on every game price. I even stated in the GameStop video where all of the games were cheaper, and 90% of them were cheaper at Target or Best Buy. There were a couple of odd, smaller titles that were maybe $5 cheaper over at GameStop. And they were old titles. So, and GameStop does run a lot of pre-owned sales around the holidays, but a lot of people don't buy pre-owned games as gifts. Specifically because GameStop likes to forget to put the disc in the case. A lot of people have had that issue. And obviously, nothing's worse on the holiday than giving someone a game and there being no disc in there. And a lot of parents or older individuals don't typically tend to think to check the case, because most people are used to just buying a newer game and it's in there, it's sealed. So my assumption is that GameStop is seeing that their Black Friday or their holiday market is dwindling, and this is their way of trying to recapture those sales. But it's also their way of reneging on a promise that they made to their employees. Something that they made seem like was almost like a company mantra. Like they cared about you spending the holidays with your family. But as we all know, GameStop doesn't care. They don't care about pretty much anything. They've lost touch of any kind of sight of the gaming community. They've lost touch of their audience in general. They don't know how to specifically appeal to the market that they're trying to appeal to. And I mean, this is literally just one of multiple bad things I've had to tell you about GameStop just this year. And I still have GameStop employee stories, like horror stories, that I'm just sitting on because GameStop can't keep themselves out of the news. It's going to be really fun. At the end of the year, we're going to recap all this. We're going to do GameStop 2017 recap. Because Jesus Christ, have you guys had a terrible year. And it's no one's fault but their own. I mean, it's literally bad publicity that they are themselves making. And it's sad to see that something that has never really had to be done, which I don't agree with working on Thanksgiving. Even my company used to be open on Thanksgiving. They're not anymore. It's great and all, but what's really the point? I'm not against holiday time or holiday pay, but I'd rather spend that time with my family. I think that's more enjoyable. I don't want to feel rushed on my Thanksgiving dinner. I don't want to feel rushed having to get out of the house. And that literally is how it feels when your store opens on Thanksgiving. I used to have to leave our Thanksgiving party at around 3 or 4 just to get to work on time. So, I mean, I maybe had an hour or 2 hours to eat before having to get into work and start prepping for everything for that night. But yeah, I was a little shocked when GameStop went back on this because, I mean, literally that was one of the things they always talked about every year. No, we will not be open on Thanksgiving because we care about our families and our employees' families being able to spend it together. And here we are now. Flash forward to dwindling sales. Nope, we don't care anymore. But, you know, I guess that's a part of being a business is your sales dollars will always come first. I'm sure a lot of people who have gotten out of GameStop recently are ecstatic to have gotten out of there before this all came down the pipeline. And a lot of you who don't work retail don't get it, but literally working Thanksgiving is one of the worst days to have to work. Especially if you're in a bigger store that does see huge volumes and you do have to feel rushed on that holiday time with your family. And I mean, even when you look at how we had to manage the store from a perspective of being open on Black Friday, I would still have to come in that night and help open the store, stay until the big line dies. So I would be there till like 3 or 4 a.m. And then I would be right back in the next day at 11 p.m. to stay and close the store till 9. That's how a manager's shift worked at GameStop during Black Friday. It is not a fun little time of year. It is chaotic. And I mean, now granted, the last one I worked wasn't chaotic. It was kind of a joke. Like, it was really sad and pathetic. I think my manager at the time had cut me probably at around 2 a.m. because of how slow it worked. And keep in mind, I had just worked at my store, like where I currently work, and then went into GameStop. Yeah. Wasn't that bad. It was whatever. It's GameStop. They were nice and slow. I think the only game I picked up that year, too, I picked up Sunset Overdrive, and I picked up The Evil Within, because they had those both on sale. But again, this holiday I plan on doing the whole Who's Got the Better Black Friday sales again. I'm going to cover all of that. Yeah, we'll dive right on into it, because I don't think GameStop's going to be able to compete again. I think there's going to be a huge gap in who has the better sales. Obviously, GameStop's going to have the shorter lines, depending on where you're at. But, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, or if you want to let me know how you feel about the entire GameStop situation that's going on right now, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And also, if you haven't and you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. There's a little bell too. Sometimes it'll notify you. And also follow me on Twitch. I've been live streaming on Twitch. I'll probably live stream here a little bit tonight, probably before it gets too late, just because I haven't had a midday stream in a long time. But guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon. I'll have plenty more content coming for you.